Hello, all you awesome people out there. Welcome back to the channel. I'm GeekVizHoov as always, and guess what? I just watched Percy Jackson, the Olympians Season 2, and in this video, we're going to be talking all about it. I'm going to talk about what I liked, what I didn't like, what I thought worked, what I didn't like, what I thought didn't work, the differences between the show and the movie, and all that wonderful, glorious stuff here on this episode here today. This is starting again, I hope this is my plan. It's my plan to, and I hope to. We are going to be covering a hell of a lot of stuff here. A lot of reviews, a lot of impressions, a lot of things like that. A lot of show I just watched. We got a lot of shows coming out very recently. I'm doing the Oscar March. If you don't know, the Oscars March, I'm watching all of the nominees for Best Pictures for the Academy Awards coming up in March. I'm going to be watching all those, and I'm going to do an I Just Watch video about all of them as I watch them. So we got a lot of that coming. So 2026 is going to start off with a lot of shit like that. So just get ready for it. If you're interested in that, go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you can be in on the ground floor and be ready for all that wonderful content I got coming in. But anyway, that's in the future. In the present right now, we're talking about Percy Jackson and the Olympians. So let's go ahead and talk about the damn show then, shall we? Alrighty then. So if you didn't know, Percy Jackson and the Olympians Season 2 released on December 10th, 2025, and it wrapped up on January 21st, 2026. It is available only on Disney+. The showrunner is Jonathan E. Steinberg. The series is directed by a number of directors that includes James Bobbin, Jason Insel, I can't say her name. Katronia McKenzie, there we go. And the series stars Walker Scobell, Leah Jeffries, Aryan Simhadri, Charlie Bushnell, Dior Goodjohn, and Daniel Demir. So let's go ahead and talk about a little brief overview of kind of what we expected for season 2 here. So season 2 clearly adapts book 2 this season and sees Percy receiving dreams that Grover is in trouble. With those dreams, he returns to camp with his brand new Cyclops brethren Tyson, and there he finds out that the barrier surrounding camp is failing due to Luke poisoning Thalia's tree. With that, he is given the quest to retrieve the Golden Fleece. The campers are given the quest to retrieve the Golden Fleece, an object with immense healing powers, mostly known for the Jason and the Argonauts story. With the quest given, but when Clarice is given the quest and Percy is left out, he must find a way to save Grover, the camp, and to do so, he must venture into the Sea of Monsters. So let's kind of talk about some important things and some important elements there in the show here. So just like from the last season, this season we got to put it out as well, and that is the fact that the prophecy comes in very, very heavily, very important for this season as well. So if you didn't know, the prophecy is foretells that one of the children of the big three, that being Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades, when they turn 16, they will hold the power to bring down Olympus or to save the world. Now, the prophecy is very important in this season for two very good reasons. And the next important elements that we're going to talk about here, one is Kronos' revival. Luke has the coffin that Kronos is in his possession. Inside the coffin, Kronos is reforming very slowly over time, getting bits and pieces of himself being retrieved from the pits of Tartarus in that coffin before he comes back. Luke is seeking the fleece, of course, to speed up this recovery and this revival process in that as well. And the second reason is Thalia. Thalia plays a big role in this season, little tease, but the team learns that the fleece's power can actually revive Thalia when placed on her tree, the pine tree that Zeus gifted them way back when. They succeed, and she does indeed return back to life. Of course, years missing from her life as she was a damn pine tree the whole time. But unfortunately, though, this was also within Kronos' plans, as he wishes to make Thalia his champion. Another demigod of the big three is now on the board and it's available for him to possibly manipulate. Speaking of Thalia, one thing, I guess you could, this is an important element, but also to a thing I like as well. And that is the truth of Thalia. For years, it has been believed that Thalia sacrificed herself to buy Luke, Grover, and Annabeth time to reach the safety of the camp, back when Annabeth first arrived at camp when she was a child. Unfortunately, we get the true story from Chiron, who tells what really happened on that night. In truth, Zeus actually wished to use Thalia as his weapon in the upcoming war that the prophecy foretold, to use her for his own gains and his own agenda. She refused and disowned him, and in response, in reaction, Zeus then turned her into the pine tree. So she wasn't, mortally wounded, and he turned into a pine tree for the sake of preserving her memory as a hero for what she's done. He just did it because she was yapping off at the mouth a little too hot to her pops. But yeah, so that was the truth about what happened to Thalia. So that was some important moments. Kind of spinning off of that, things I liked. With that truth, with that, and with the way Zeus reacted to Percy in season 1, I will say one thing I really like is that Zeus is a fucking dick. Like legitimately, he's kind of a dick in this show, and I kind of like it. Almost painted as a bad guy in this show, and I like that. I like that element to him. In the books, it's never as evident as it seems that they're making it in the show. But of course, in season 1, book 1, he's an antagonist because he thinks Percy stole the damn lightning bolt. He wants to kill Percy in order to stop the damn, the prophecy from coming true. But that move really kind of submissive is kind of a dick. He's kind of a bad guy, and I kind of like that. I really do. I'm interested to see kind of what happens for the rest of the show in terms of that stuff. But anywho, more stuff I liked. Clarice, we got to spend a lot of extra time with Clarice in the show, more than we got in the book for this adventure. She definitely comes into more in this season. We got some more character motivations, some more character moments for her in this. They also established her relationship with Chris Rodriguez a lot earlier here, which I like. If you know, you know. So I really like the addition of giving more time to Clarice, and really because this one really kind of develops her relationship with the core team a little bit more, as that's going to become more and more prevalent as we get going with the rest of the show. But yeah, and then Dior Goodjohn, who played Clarice in this show, I think she did a pretty damn good job here. Another thing I liked was the battle at camp. I thought we wouldn't get a moment like that until like fucking season 4, which was would adapt like book 4. But we got a nice like big moment in the damn in the show that had the Camp Half-Blood going up against Luke and his team of rogue demigods who have turned against them. They had a big fight at the camp. I thought that was really cool. Yeah, it's really nice to get these really big, large action set pieces, and it played out really well. It was shot pretty well. Percy got his ass whooped. Speaking of that, I hope that's something that he kind of takes with him for the rest of the show too. Luke worked that boy. He fucking gave Percy the business, and like I hope that turns into like a motivating thing for Percy, because he really hasn't beaten Luke one-on-one yet, especially after that. He fucking whooped that nigga ass, boy. he damn. I mean, shit. I was like, God damn, this was kind of violent. That was kind of vicious. But yeah, I hope that's something that they take with Percy's character for the rest of the series, to really hone in more on that Luke Percy rivalry. Speaking of things I do like how they're handling the it's not a love triangle, but it's definitely an awkward thing for them. The relationship that's existed between Percy, Annabeth, and Luke. Of course, Percy does not like Luke after his betrayal. That's his number one op right now. Of course, Annabeth has a lot of history with Luke. She's very conflicted about the whole thing. Luke very much the same kind of way. He still has a soft spot for Annabeth. Still wants her to join his team. But he knows Percy is like his biggest obstacle in what he's trying to do with reviving Kronos and overthrowing the gods right now, especially with Percy being the son of Poseidon. So I like the dynamic that they're playing with there. I think that's really interesting. Sort of springing and bouncing on from that. Another thing I liked was there's a character named Allison who debuts this season. She is a original character in the show, and I find that very interesting. I think it's one of the first wholly original things the show has done. Hopefully one of the more long-running original things the show has over the movies. It seemed like she can introduce a very interesting dynamic in the future. I see her as sort of being a character who's kind of challenging Luke in a way, because again, Luke is still he still has a very soft spot for Annabeth. Now that Thalia's in the picture, of course, he's gonna have a soft spot for her. He's gonna try to turn her to Kronos' side. But it seems like Allison is very much just kind of gonna act as like a force to really kind of push Luke to get past that, really kind of hold his feet to the fire when he has to make choices he still might be on the fence about or still not that comfortable making, basically as the leader for this this army and shit. So it's very interesting. I'm interested to see kind of what happens in terms of that. But yeah, I hope she does kind of act as like a better force in the future for shit that is to come. All right, so that's everything I liked. Kind of let's talk about everything I did not like here. I don't know what the fuck this text is in this video. I thought it was just a damn fight scene. Something else. So excuse me. Is that the captions? No, it's not the captions. Whatever, it's already on there. It's already playing. We're gonna let it rock. All right, things I didn't like. Tyson. Now I'm not saying in terms of like Tyson for like the actor or his performance. I think he did fine. I didn't like kind of the reason and the root of what Tyson is. Granted, again, I'm coming from a person who's read all of the books multiple times. So Tyson, in book 2, Tyson acts as like a challenge and sort of acts as some character changes and motivations for Percy and Annabeth in different ways. I don't want to have too much on it, but to kind of touch on it, like Percy grows to accept Tyson and overcomes issues of, I kind of chalked it up as his ego. Because Tyson in the show is very different than how Tyson is in the books. Tyson is supposed to be somebody who introduces issues for Percy in terms of like his father. Like he accepts Tyson a lot faster than Percy got accepted by Poseidon. Tyson very much views himself as having to protect Percy, but Percy spent all the time they had in school protecting Tyson. So again, that's kind of how I chalked it up to his ego. He kind of views low-key, he kind of always viewed Tyson as below him, under him, because of Tyson's like intelligence, and he has all the strength, but he's very much a gentle giant, so he never really uses it. So Percy has always kind of viewed Tyson below him, and through the story, Tyson kind of proves himself in multiple different ways, and proves very useful, and actually kind of grows on Percy. The show really kind of speeds it up. He's very much like accepted as fucking one, as a Cyclops, and two, as Percy's brother right from the jump. So from episode 1, he kind of already has that. So it kind of eliminates that whole element right from the jump with Percy. And also for Annabeth. Annabeth has this deep distrust and hatred of Cyclopses due to past traumas when she was a kid, traveling with Luke, Thalia, and Grover. She also overcomes that after traveling with Tyson and sort of sees Tyson as a good Cyclops, which she never thought was like an actual thing. And none of that is really present here. So because of that, Tyson's whole like reasoning for like being involved in this story is like gone. So like if you take Tyson out, nothing really changes. Like you can easily put anybody else in any of the situations he was in, and have it. Like he saved them from Polyphemus. I feel like you could have put Clarice there. Probably she would have probably done just as fine. It's the same reason would have hit. So I didn't really like the way they handled Tyson in the show. I feel like major elements of his character were missing, and especially for how he interacts and does things with Percy and Annabeth. Another issue I have with the show is the timing. The timing and the pacing. I don't really know how to chalk it up, but I feel like still, despite this being a series as opposed to the movie, where it actually allows time for you to actually dive deeper into the books, deeper into character dynamics, and really kind of let shit kind of marinate and really kind of affect you. I feel like that really hasn't been present in the show. I explained like the whole Tyson situation, but like even like a major element of this season is supposed to be the fact that with the barrier falling, camp is in danger. Monsters can cross the barriers into camp, and I feel like they never put an emphasis on that. Monsters barely crossed over in this season, besides like what, one fucking giant at the very start, who then immediately ran back to the other side of the barrier to meet up with the rest of his team. So it's like the constant threat that camp is in danger until they get this fleece back was never really there. Even like Chiron in this season, Chiron was fired as camp director and replaced with I can't think of his name, replaced with somebody else. That was never really, that also kind of felt more like an obligated plot point to put into this because it was in the books as opposed to them making it matter. And I feel like that's kind of my thing with the show as a whole. I'll talk about it a little later once I get to my overall thoughts. But yeah, like even that wasn't really allowed to like hit hard. Remember, Chiron is like is very much a mentor and leader to all of the kids, especially Percy and Annabeth and the like. They really hold a lot of respect for Chiron, and the fact that he was fired as camp director, barely appeared until the end when he was brought back, was kind of wild. It was low-key kind of weird. So I was like, why did they didn't really put much emphasis and focus on that? So I thought that was kind of strange. I also wrote kind of Polyphemus, who was the Cyclops that had Grover trapped on the island. Really wasn't much of a threat. I kept it, but honestly, it seems like they were kind of shifting from making more Luke as more of an imminent threat in this as opposed to Polyphemus, which I understand. I can respect that. So a small didn't like, but I'm willing to excuse and wipe it off the board. All right, moving on. Let's talk about some differences between the show and the book for season 2. I don't think they have the flesh-eating sheep in this, which I think was kind of sad. I would like to have seen that. And also it introduces an immediate barrier, an issue that exists between Percy and Annabeth getting to Grover, with these sheep sort of roaming the area between them. That wasn't really there. Like I said, Allison being present in the show, she's a whole original character. She was not in the books, so that was a nice little thing there. The truth about Thalia is all completely original to the show as opposed to the books. Also, it's not a major difference. It is a very slight difference. I do like how the show really kind of puts more emphasis on the fact that Kronos wants Thalia. He wants her at his side to be the child to bring down the gods. I like how they're using that more in this as opposed to the books. The books Thalia reviving was an entire accident, and it was revealed at the very end. And that's when like, oh shit, this was kind of Kronos' plans all along. If he couldn't get the fleece to revive himself, he would have liked them to if they got the fleece to revive Thalia, was kind of like his backup plan. Again, to introduce another demigod of the big three on the board. But I like how they put more emphasis on like Kronos definitely is dead set on making her his champion. And with the whole truth with why she was turned to a pine tree, her issues with Zeus, she clearly doesn't want to be a demigod, doesn't like Zeus to be her father. So that's like immediately innate reasons for her to want to possibly destroy the gods. So I did like how they did that. Also, speaking of Chiron and shit, no party ponies. Where were the party ponies? They weren't here. If you know, you know. They were here. And I was a little disappointed. I wanted to see the Party Ponies. All right, and next up, future of the franchise. We know there's a season 3 arriving. We got cast notes for who's joining the season 3 and shit like that. Also, at the end of the damn show, they revealed that season 3 is apparently coming this year, later this year, which is crazy. But yeah, apparently it's coming this year. So that's pretty cool. So we might get that at mid to late 2026. Season 3 is going to be dropping. So kind of crazy, but yeah, we got that coming as well. All right, and then we are going to go ahead and get into my final thoughts. Okay, so we are 2 seasons in. My issues, and I have to say, I'm still not swayed either way. My issues with season 1 are still kind of there for season 2. Like the show is nice. It's a good show, and if someone says that they're interested in the property, but don't want to read, don't got time to read 5 books, I'll point them to the show. I feel like it's still a good representation of what the books are, but clearly, as always, the source material is still better. But the show still isn't really blowing me away. It still really hasn't grit its claws into me. And again, maybe it's the fact that I read the books, so I already know. If this is what I'm talking about, Percy just getting his ass whooped. This is what I'm talking about. I was like, God damn. but besides that, but yeah, the show still really isn't gripping me. Granted, it was kind of getting me at the end. I like the change with Zeus. I like the change with Thalia. I kind of, like I said, I like the whole thing of like Kronos going after her to be his champion. I like all that, but all that kind of came at the end. And like I said, maybe it's me being too much of a big fan of the books, knowing everything that's going to happen. So I know everything that's going to happen. So maybe that's why the show just isn't really gripping me that much. But then I kind of look at like how I reacted to like season 1 of The Last of Us. I knew everything was going to happen in that one, and I still fucking love the show. I still thought it did a great job. Maybe it's the fact that the show really isn't taking a lot more risk and really isn't kind of taking the property and making it its own. I still feel like they're just kind of hitting the beats of the books just to hit the beats of the books, as opposed to really trying to take it and make it theirs. Like I said, hopefully with season 3 dropping this year and adapting book 3, I feel like book 3 is the one where we really kind of start to get into the meat of the main story that is this series, which is the war between the demigods, King Half-Blood, and Luke's forces, the gods and the Titans. We really start getting more into that in season 3. But and maybe they can ramp things up for that. But like even me saying that kind of feels like I'm making excuses, and I'm just like, maybe it'll get better in this one because this book is really good. So maybe they get it better the next time around. But I don't know. Like I said, it's still just very serviceable to me. And I know like comparing the like The Last of Us to this, they're like 2 different mediums. You got like HBO, or you got Disney Plus, catered more towards younger kids, or you got The Last of Us, which was geared more towards a more mature, older audience. But yeah, I don't know. It's still serviceable. It's still good. I think I gave season 1 like a 6. I just mark season 2 as a 6 as well. Lots of things it does well. It still does well. The design, the production design, like the chariot race was fucking great. Like the chariot race moment was really good. The Grey Sisters, that moment was really great. But I still feel like we're just kind of just blowing through things and not really wanting to stay with things to really kind of let it grip and really kind of let it take hold, or really not try to make things, hit as hard as they should hit. But again, that's just me. So that's just me. What did you think of Percy Jackson season 2? I'm still looking forward to season 3. I will be covering season 3 when it drops later this year. You got another goddamn show I gotta cover. Another goddamn show I gotta cover for this year. But yeah, that is my thoughts and impressions. So that is my thoughts and impressions on Percy Jackson that I just watched. So yeah, so if you're interested, let me know down in the comments what you thought of the show. Are you enjoying it? Are you not liking it? Do you kind of agree, disagree with the takes I had? Let me know down in the comments below. But anywho, that's it for me here today. That's it for me here yapping about this show. I got a bunch of other shit. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you know. I just talked about some movie news the other day, so we got that. Fallout Season 2 wraps up this week, so we'll be having that one as well as my Oscars March. I think this week I'm watching One Battle After Another and Train Dreams. Is that the other one? So make sure you be on the lookout for those as well. There's other stuff on the channel. Get in on the ground floor. I'm still very new to this YouTube shit, so thank you all so much. I very much appreciate you watching. Always remember to stay watching, to stay playing, to stay awesome, and most importantly, y'all stay safe out there. Especially dealing with this goddamn winter storm out there. I hope everybody's staying safe, staying warm, staying inside. It's crazy out there. Also, you know, Minnesota as well. Anybody else dealing with some ice shit around here. I'm from Milwaukee, and like, there's been reports that there's a very light ice presence here in my city as well. So, hey, staying strong out here, man. Hey, so thoughts and prayers to everybody out there. Fuck ice. Till next time, everybody. Deuces.